Down in the place to be. Forget your cares and normal, definitely.
What goes on, guys? We're back here again with yet another review. And today we're going to be taking a look at something that I didn't think I was going to be picking up, but I found for an unbeatable price. So I went ahead and did. We're going to be taking a look at the brand new Neca Toys Teenage Mutant Ninja Turtles times Universal Monsters Splinter as Van Helsing, the monster hunter himself. Damn. Look at the art. That's just awesome. So this looks great. We'll go ahead and take a look at the turntable with the box. So taking a look at the box art here, I really like the way that they detail the side of the box with the lights there. You get to see one image of Splinter in there as well. But yeah, so I got this at the local half-off store for 20 bucks. So yeah, instead of paying 35 to 40, I paid $19.99 for this guy. Awesome, awesome, awesome. So I think the back looks great with all the art on there. It looks so fantastic. And then obviously we get to see the side here. It just says Van Helsing. If you're looking for this, you'll probably be able to find them in Target. There's the barcode. But yeah, this thing looks great. Again, I wasn't going to pick them up, but I saw some reviews. And I was like, oh, if I find them for a good price. And it just so happens I found them for a good price. So without further ado, let's go ahead and pop this thing open. So getting the old wise master turned monster hunter out of the packaging. I like it. I'm definitely happy I didn't pay full price for him. I think it's a good figure, but there's just things that I'm not super happy about that I think could have been easily avoided. So right off the bat, out of the set of figures so far as I know, I don't have April. If I found April for a good price, I would get April. But as far as I know, Splinter has the most reuse out of anybody. So there are certain things on this that are just straight from the movie figure. For instance, I think everything from the torso down is just movie Splinter. So that's a little disappointing, but it's nothing crazy. And I understand that you got to get a little bit of reuse into things. But I just think that the legs and the tail are reuse. But honestly, I think that it works good and it doesn't like detract from the figure. But just I guess compared to the brothers, this is definitely objectively the weakest one. I won't say it's not a bad figure, but it's definitely the weakest out of them. So starting off, we'll take a look at the head sculpt here. It's definitely taking inspiration, if not the sculpt, from the movie Splinter. Now, one little detail that I think is cool is they painted like darkness around the side of his eye there, so it like emulates like a deeper shadow. But I think that the hat would have covered that enough. But I think it's a nice detail that they tried to do it anyway. The dry brush on the fur looks really good. He's got a little tuft of fur there. The snout looks really good. And then this is the head sculpt with the hat. We'll take a look at the alternate head later on, but I love the way that the jacket looks. Now, I think a wash or a dry brush would have been good for the jacket, but it looks like leather enough to me, so that works for me just fine. This strap has so much paint on it. You get a dry brush, you get a paint on the outside, I guess. I guess the purple is painted. It's molded in a brown. Black, gold, all those little things are punched in. It looks great. I really, really like the way that that looks. And then you get sleeve, like the little white for the sleeve, and then the gloves have his claws through them, but they still are like sculpted like leather. I like that. You get the buttons all punched in, dry brush on the fur up there. Definitely looks like what I imagine Van Helsing to look like. I know Van Helsing best from the Dracula novel. I don't know if that was his first appearance. If anybody knows that, let me know. But I know him from there. He was like a doctor, and you know, then he revealed that he was a monster. He's awesome in that book. He's a Chad, but you get to see the sculpted like little band here, and then I don't know. I don't have the movie Splinter from Neca, so maybe this is a new piece. Maybe this, I don't know if they could soft goods. I know the legs are reused. I've seen a bunch of reviews. I know the legs are reused, but I can't recall if they had a hard piece in there. So he has a little rat balls in there, and then the tail. I think the tail is cool because it's got a nice little dry brush on it, but I like to rotate it like this so the holes are on the bottom. But yeah, he looks good. You know, it's nothing amazing in my opinion. I guess it's more just like this is NECA's standard at this point. So it's like, what else can I say that hasn't already been said about a NECA figure at this point, right? As for accessories, you do get the unhatted, you know, hatless head sculpt. I do like the brown wash at the bottom. They didn't do that black thing around the eyes, at least not as deep, but I like that. It's fine. Looks cool. It's just the movie Splinter head with some glasses just kind of glued in there. So I think that that's cool. You do get a bevy of interchangeable hands. So you do get the flat hands that come on them in the package. You do get some grippity hands for various accessories. And then you do get like a 2-pointer finger hand and then a 1-pointer finger hand. So you'd be like, pew, pew. So I like that. Then you get 3 wooden stakes for hunting them vampires, even though we don't have a vampire in the line yet. I'm assuming if they make Splinter, he'll be Dracula. And the cool thing about getting the 3 of these is you can line them up on his little like bandolier thing. So I think that's pretty cool. Put that in there, and then last one. I'm definitely going to leave them on there so I don't lose them. And, you know, it's always cool when a figure can hold its own accessories. Kind of wish that this had a peg to go into the back, because it does fall a little bit easier than I'd like. But what I've been doing is tucking it under the fur, and then the fur kind of holds it. Then you do get, of course, Van Helsing's known for his crossbow, so you do get a crossbow. No real string. It is a little, like, pulley, so maybe actually... That's kind of cool. I'm sure if you angle it better than me, you can get it, like, hooked in there. It's a little stretchy. I don't want to break it, but I'm going to try. It's stretchy enough. It's not actual string, I don't think. But you do get 3 regular arrows, so that's not a regular one. So they're just kind of like little toothpicks. And then with the feathers on the end. You do get one with like a batarang on it. That's pretty cool. It's painted very nicely. This is my favorite arrow. You do get the arrow with the garlic on the end. That's hilarious. That's awesome. You do get a knife. That's pretty cool. There's nowhere to put the knife technically. I think it's supposed to go here. I don't know if I like it there too much. Actually, I lied. I don't hate that. Actually, that looks pretty good. Sorry I said anything. So you can leave the knife on there as well. And then finally, you get a little figure stand. Nothing crazy. You don't really see that with Neca, but sometimes he has a little bit of trouble posing, standing if you don't use the tail, because he doesn't have ankle pivot, which we'll get to in a second. But I don't really think that the stand's super necessary, but it's cool that they did include it. So he does come with a bunch of good stuff, which I think is pretty cool. As far as articulation goes for this guy, you do get a double ball peg at the head. And I think for both heads, it's the same amount of articulation. So I think it's an adamant amount. You could definitely get them into those poses that you would need. Shoulders go up, down, rotate 360, double jointed elbows that will rotate as well. I don't really like that you can, like, they stress the plastic almost immediately after using them. It's not great. And then the wrist swivel and hinge. No vertical hinges on any of the hands, which is a little frustrating. Neca needs to work on that. The diaphragm joint isn't really going to do anything. What I would do if you really want to try to use it is grab the tail in the lower tunic, just kind of move it around. It'll do a little bit, but it's mostly just going to be your rotation. Hips go outwards that far, down, he'll kick forward with little rat legs, back. Well, yeah, you do get like an upper thigh cut. Single jointed knee that moves in that far, and that'll also rotate. And then you do get a rotation at the ankle. Be cautious with that. Mine were super tight. And then hinge up and down, but it does not pivot. But you do get a toe joint. I saw some people saying that you can rotate these. I'm not going to try to break that, and I don't really care enough to do it. So, yeah, I think the articulation's okay on this. Nothing crazy, but, oops, I like the hatted. I like the hatted head better anyway. But nothing crazy, but I don't think a Van Helsing Splinter really needs, like, a crazy amount of articulation. Now, unfortunately, I don't have any of my Monsters Universal Turtles here with me, but I'll just do some other comparisons. So here he is next to the Jazzwares Fortnite series Peerly, and then the Neca King Kong. So he's definitely shorter. I can't wait to see him with the other turtles. Here he is next to Darwin and Batman. So he's still even shorter than 6-inch figures, even though he's a 7-inch figure. But, I mean, he is a rat man, so, like, you know, how big is he supposed to be? And then here he is next to Zombie Cap, of course. So I think he's a decent size. I don't think he needed to be any bigger than this. This definitely works. So at this point, there are definitely people out there wondering, yo, Ant, what are you thinking of this figure? And I gotta say, he's definitely not my favorite from this series. I definitely like the Turtles better, and if I didn't find this guy for the price that I did, I probably wouldn't got him at all, or unless it was like a gift or something, because he's great for, you know, I think it's a great idea. I just think that he's not as fun as the other figures. And, you know, since there's a little bit more reuse on him, he's a little bit more boring, for lack of better terms. I don't know. Maybe I'm just a little disappointed because of how much I love and adore the other turtles so far. I can't wait to get Donatello. Unfortunately, I think Donatello is probably going to be my least favorite. But you never know. You never know. But anyway, I think that this is a cool figure. Just not one that I think everybody needs for their collection. It just really depends on how much you like the turtles. And for me, I like the turtles enough to go ahead and get them. So anyway, at a price point of, for me, I paid $20 for them, but at a regular price point of $35 to $40, I'll go ahead and give this figure a 7 out of 10. I think the articulation for the legs definitely could have been modded and maybe a little bit more paint on the jacket, but other than that, I mean, he's pretty cool. He comes with a bunch of stuff. It's just, he's not very dynamic. I think the articulation could have been better. But other than that, I believe that's all I got for today. So if you've not already, please be sure to like, comment, subscribe. Also be sure to follow me on Instagram and TikTok. I post a lot over there and I have a lot of fun, so I'm sure you all will too. But as always, let me know. You coppin'? See you guys in the next one. Peace.